Welcome to the Miami Sports Vibes YouTube channel. Here to preview the Miami Dolphins Week 18 matchup against the New York Jets. This is it. Season finale. This is pretty much win with a little bit of help, or you go home and the season is officially over. So the stuff is plain and simple. It comes down to the Chiefs beating the Broncos and the Dolphins beating the Jets, and the Dolphins are in the playoffs. But listen, you can only control what you can control at this point. Beat the Jets and let the chips fall where they may. Whatever happens. We know where to point the fingers to. I want to see my boys go out there and go down fighting and competing. Unfortunately, big news, Tyler Huntley is pretty much going to get the start. Right now, they're listing Tua as doubtful for the game against the New York Jets. He's not going to play, in my opinion, and it's just a freaking bummer that yet again, where playoffs are on the line for the Miami Dolphins and Tua is not playing. Like, this is a guy who has played through concussions. This is a guy who wants to go out there. This is a guy who got paid, and this is what you play for. Like I have mentioned, you play to win, to get your money, first of all, which you already got, and to win a championship. And how to get to the championship is by getting to the playoffs first. So the fact that you are not eliminated and not playing in this game yet again, I was already pissed last week. I'm even more pissed off this week. And I hear all the stuff saying that, oh, it's not Tua. Tua wants to play, but the doctors are saying no. BS. I don't care, because you want to know something? A report came out also that it says if Tua has said if they make the playoffs that he is going to push forward and he's going to play in the playoffs no matter what. Why is that only the case when it's the playoffs? So, hey, yo, Huntley, get me to the playoffs, and after that, yo, I'm going to start now. Like, this is just BS, man. I absolutely hate this. It's a terrible situation I have so many things to say about this and so many things about how the Dolphins should approach this offseason. But let's talk about that after this game and after the chips fall where they may. Let's talk about this New York Jets game. So the Dolphins, like I mentioned, have to take care of business. You're going against a team that if you think you've had a bad season, look at the New York Jets. They've had an even worse season. This is a team that went all in on Aaron Rodgers. This is a team that thought Aaron Rodgers can give them, that the quarterback was the problem. It was Zach Wilson. You get a competent quarterback in here, we're going to do fine. They got rid of their coach. They let Aaron Rodgers get whatever he wants. He wanted Devontae Adams. They bought him in, and they still haven't done anything. This has been a complete disaster in New York for a team that already has like 17 years without a playoff appearance. It's real ugly. All right. So this matchup right here, you got to feel good going into this one if you're a Dolphin fan. I'm surprised the Dolphins are not the favorite, but that's neither here or there. Like I mentioned, Tua not going to play in this game. Tyler Huntley is playing this game. Aaron Rodgers is playing for the New York Jets. The thing is plain and simple. All right. You have to execute. And I think this is going to be a game where your defense has to come alive, and your defense is going to win you this game. I absolutely think Weaver has to have a great game plan going to this matchup, because Aaron Rodgers is a guy that, his better days are behind him. So here are my 3 keys to victory. Number 1, as I mentioned, getting pressure on the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers moves very, very slow. It is so noticeable, especially this season. You bring pressure towards him, obviously he's going to get his yardage. That's just who he is. All right. He's a high IQ quarterback, but make it difficult for him. Don't give him time back there in the pocket to kind of see his guys get open. Bring pressure to him, make him move a little bit, because he will get tired and he will definitely throw a pick, maybe even 2, but you got to be prepared for it. My second key is run the freaking football. This New York Jets defense is pretty good, but they are better guarding the pass. They have been vulnerable to giving up a ton of yardage to other teams with good running backs. And I think the Miami Dolphins have some good running backs in their hands. Whether Mike McDaniel runs the ball or not, we got some good ones. We got Raheem Mostert, you got Devon Achane, Jalen Wright. We can mix in a lot of different things. And also, since Tyler Huntley is the quarterback, he can run as well. We saw it last week when he called his own number and he got scrambling in the pocket against the Cleveland Browns. Good things happen. I believe he rushed for over 50 yards. I expect to see more of that against the New York Jets. All right. So run the football is the key. And then the third is win the turnover battle, man. We know that Tyler Huntley has a lot of limitations. All right. You do not want to get into a game where you're just constantly turning the ball over. You got to play a good, clean game of football to get out of here with a W. You know the Jets are going to turn it over. Don't match the turnovers. All right. Win the turnover battle and just be ready for opportunities. I think it comes down to running the football effectively, like I mentioned. That includes Huntley getting out there and scrambling. and also your defense putting pressure on Aaron Rodgers and just capitalizing off the mistakes. I absolutely think the Dolphins are a more disciplined team than the New York Football Jets, but the New York Football Jets. Normally the Giants are called that, but like I mentioned, I think the Dolphins are a more disciplined team, and I think that the defense ultimately can lead us to win this game. So with that being said, I kind of have this game being a little bit dicey here. Maybe not the prettiest type of games, right? Probably just an ugly, weird type of scoring game. I see the Dolphins winning this game for my prediction. I say the Dolphins win this game 17-13. I can also see like a 16-12 game, something just weird. I think weird things are going to happen. I think this is going to be a little bit of a sloppy game. The weather is going to be freezing cold, and a lot of wind here in New Jersey, New York area. So I think it's going to be an ugly game. All right. I think offenses are both going to struggle here, but I think that the Dolphins defense does enough to get the job done. And I trust that the running game has a big day against the New York Jets. That's the key. That's what I think should happen if the Dolphins want to win this game. And then whatever happens against the Chiefs and the Broncos, it is. If the Chiefs go out there and win and then you get to the playoffs, hey, I feel good. I think it's awesome. Regardless if we lose in the first round or not, I think making the playoffs, especially after digging yourselves in the hole, will show me a lot, man. The players are going to show me this game. All right. The players that suit up and play, not you, Tua. The players that suit up and play, all right, and are not scoreboard watching, just giving it their all because you're not officially eliminated. That's going to say a lot of things to me, man. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I want to get impressed by some of these guys. Like, show me you guys actually care. All right. Because the way this season has gone, the way everyone's looking at the GM and the head coach, like myself, I'm not happy. So I leave the players, if they could get me happy, you end the season with a win and on a high note, that makes me feel better. But listen, don't get it twisted. I think changes need to be made, and it starts up top with the GM, Chris Grier. I'm not a big fan of Mike McDaniel. I think those two are the reasons why we're in this position to begin with, because when Tua got hurt, number one, we didn't go pick up somebody quick enough. But before that, we never signed somebody in the offseason to be ready as quarterback two, which is complete just BS. The fact that you have a quarterback like Tua that has concussion history and injury history, that you don't have a competent backup quarterback, you're the reason, the one who makes those decisions, a.k.a. Chris Grier, Mike McDaniel. You guys are the reasons why we're in this position. Because if you only win a couple of those games, the Dolphins are probably right here in the playoffs, and you don't even have to pretty much worry about this game, let alone probably control their own destiny, if that, at worst. So I believe changes need to be made. And hey, if we win and the Broncos win and the Broncos make it, all fingers point towards Chris Grier. But man, Chris Grier has definitely let us down, Dolphin fans. He definitely has, especially with this one. If we win this game and the Broncos win their game and we miss the playoffs, there's no excuse. You got to get rid of Chris Grier at that point. I mean, this is solely on him. Solely on him. A lot of takes that I have about Tua, man. A lot. But I will keep that in store for some couple of other videos. Let's just take control over what we can control, Dolphin fans. Let's win this game. All right. Let the chips fall where they may. Remember, if there's any little optimism that you can have, all right, I get it. Patrick Mahomes is not playing, and there's a list of Chiefs players that aren't playing. The Chiefs are going to try to win this game with who they have on the field. Andy Reid is going to want to win this game, and the refs are going to try to help and have either Cincinnati or the Dolphins make the playoffs. They will make sure that they try to take this game away from Denver. But don't scoreboard watch, Dolphins. Just win the damn game. Win the damn game. I'll be in attendance. I'll be in attendance for the game, and I will be cheering loud and hard for the Miami Dolphins. End the season on a high note. Show me something. Show me something. And there's a lot of injuries, by the way. Not only Tua. Tyreek Hill is also questionable. Javon Holland is also questionable. Jalen Waddle is also questionable. If Tyreek Hill does not play in this game, let alone any one of these guys that are questionable, if you don't go ahead and play this game, you also show me something. This is no excuse. This is what you play for, all right? Even though it's a long shot, you still have to suit up and freaking play. If not, you guys are soft, and you're just adding to why people call us soft. So hopefully the Dolphins just play with their heart out, show some grit out there, and just get the job done and get the W, man, and let the chips fall where they may. As for the offseason, plenty to talk about. Make sure you subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know your score predictions down below. And Dolphin fans, good luck. I'll be right there with you.